I use Windows and I use the Visual Studio Code as the interface. You can just use the raw terminal, but I really like the IDE here from Windows. It works pretty good for me. Uh, there's a chat section to it. There's the terminal section, and then you can see all your directories. But I do a lot of the prompt planning actually just directly in Claude chat, and I'll just work locally here. I'm not as versed in using the chat within the Visual Studio Code as of yet. But one of the first things you want to do is so I'm going to build that simple task list again. And I keep all the apps on my desktop. So this is just going to be a simple task list. And now I'm going to go back over to my terminal view. I'm just going to open the folder. So now that I select the folder, the session's going to restart. And then there's a shortcut. You just do Control tilde, which brings up your terminal here. And you type in Claude here, and it starts your session. Now, when you start your session, it'll ask you if you trust this folder. And I just hit 1 to trust it. So this is actually what the view looks like when you're in your terminal view. Okay. Now I am going to flip over to all my projects under my Claude Code app. And the reason I do that is I have instructions in here to help me with formatting. You're an expert Claude Code app developer. Your focus is helping me build, debug, and improve applications. So I have a full instruction. I can send this to you if you're interested at all.
Yeah, that'd be good. Is that the same as a project? Is Claude App the same as a project?
So this, as with ChatGPT, this is actually a project. So I'm doing the project instruction here.
Okay.
So I'm just going to start from scratch, building a simple task list for a demo. Need to provide prompts to copy and paste into the terminal using BSC. So we're going to vibe code our way through today. In session 2 and 3, we're going to do far more planning than what we're doing here. One of the things that I did learn was if I don't stipulate the name of the app, it doesn't know it. So I'm going to have to do that as well. But as you can see, what it's doing right now is it's literally building all the prompts that I need to build that application. So I just want to clarify a few other things. I am saving the app on my desktop, and the name of the folder is simple task list. So I'm telling it I'd prefer to view this on localhost and that I'm going to be using SQLite as the database. So last time I did this, I forgot even in a vibe coding set, I should at least give it some basic instructions. So now I can see here that it recognizes the name. Let me just validate that. Simple task list with dashes in between each word. Perfect. So then it's going to build the database layer, build the task agent, build the API connections. It'll build the front end. It'll add styling, which we can update if we don't like it. It'll do some testing and finalization. And then we're going to run it off of a local host. Glenn, are you familiar with local host at all?
Not at all. What is
Okay,
like the host?
so you know how when you launch a website, you put it out on a server and you get a domain name and it tells you here's the domain name, and then the website will work from that domain on a server.
Yes.
On your laptop, you have a concept of a local server, and it's only on your laptop or only on your desktop. People can't access it from the web at all unless you gave them specific access, which you don't want to do. So this is a local server that is good enough for you to test your applications on it. Now, what it'll do is it will assign a number. So this one is localhost 3000. I already know 3000 was used, so I'm going to use a different one. So can we use local 3010? That way I've written 5 other apps and I know it's using some of those other local hosts. So this one, let me just make sure. So as I was saying earlier, Glenn, I don't read through these in great detail. This is a prompt that chat is providing to me to give to Claude Code that it understands. I could never come up with this stuff myself. And as a programmer, it'd probably take me a while to do so. I'm going to take and let's do prompt number 1. And you can see my terminal here, Glenn. Is that
Yeah,
correct?
that's correct.
So again, what this will do is this, instead of showing you the whole content when you cut and paste it, it does this truncated thing where it says paste text plus 15 lines. So I just paste that in there. It knows the full content of the paste. And as soon as you paste it, it'll show up. Now, in the event you inadvertently cut and paste the same prompt twice, it'll tell you. It'll say, hey, I just received this prompt not too long ago. Can you please check to make sure it's the correct one? So we can see that through that prompt 1, it's now starting to, in this particular one, it's going to be setting up directories and things that it needs from an infrastructure standpoint. And now it's asking me for permission to proceed because it's going to start writing files. And you'll see in the upper left, I only have the parent directory. I don't have the full directory. So I'm just going to hit 1, which means yes, go ahead and proceed. I can't think of an instance in the 5 apps that I've developed where I've told it no. It may, well, maybe the exception if I inadvertently copied and pasted the same command twice. I'll see how it's building everything on the fly. You can see the directories, agent, prompts, public tools. So now you're getting a full directory structure that it's building.
Did you design the structure?
Nope. Claude Code is doing it all for me. So remember, the only instruction that I gave it is this. I want to build a simple task list for a demo, need to provide prompts to copy and paste into the terminal using VSC. So that was prompt number 1. And then I remembered I needed to tell it I was saving the app on my desktop and I wanted to use localhost and I wanted to use SQLite as the database. That was the second thing I provided. And then it went ahead and created all these prompts. I realized at that point it defaulted to localhost 3000. I needed to reassign that to 3010. So then it went ahead and made that adjustment in all these prompts here. And now it's telling me after I run all the prompts above, change my directory in terminal and run this command inside terminal. Now I know because I'm familiar with these terms and I'm familiar with the concept of terminal, it sounds like I'm very confident in what I'm talking about. I am familiar with enough with the concepts that I understand logically what it's telling me to do, and I've done it enough times to where I have a lot of confidence in it. But other than those prompts, I have not given it any other instruction. And the website is going to run off of localhost 3010. So now all we're going to do is we're going to go back up to prompt 1, which I already copied and pasted it into the terminal. So now it's continuing to build the layers. It asked me for permission. So this is to run an install command. Sure, go ahead. And like I said, I never tell it no. It's just asking because it's writing to my disk specifically. And this bash command is effectively a command that it uses internally to write. Now, when everything is done, it tells you it crunched for 1 minute and 50 seconds. And I go back to where it says everything is set up. Here's what was created. I take this part here, I copy it, and I paste it back into Claude Chat, and I say prompt one complete. And then I let it digest what was provided as feedback from the terminal, from Claude Code. And so now it confirms it. Yep, good news. Claude Code built an entire app in one go. And there's a few caveats here. Now, for some reason, let's see. So you can skip, let's see. Well, Claude Code already built full Express API, SQL database, complete front end UI. You can skip 2 through 7. The app is done. Now, I don't think the app is done yet. That would really surprise me. But let's go ahead. Let's just take its word for it and see what happens. So I need to stop the server, and then I need to, if you've ever used, there's some commands that you're going to use here. So this is change directory ... takes you back one directory, and I'm going to change directory to simple.task list. So it's telling me to run this command. Let's see what it does. So part of, again, just like this afternoon, well, it actually did build something. So let's see, test task 1. So it's actually allowing me to add that task. Well, it actually built the entire thing. I'm just going to change the headline. I just want to make sure that it's updating the one I think it is. Update headline. So without exception, every time I get a prompt command from within Claude Code, so it's already done. It already completed that. There it is. So literally it built an app. I don't even know if we've been on the call 10 minutes. That's amazing. So now at this point, this app is running on my on localhost. Let me bring it back over again. So let me just test a few things. So 1, if I click done, we want it to be hidden. 2, if I hit the X, I want it to delete. 3, if I refresh, I want it to stick, and it does. So let me do another test here. We're going to add, refresh again, it sticks. Control Shift R is a hard refresh. It does that. That's great. That's exactly what we want to see. Now, the one thing that it does not include is a edit button. So let's go ahead and go back and see. Let's see. So we want everything looks good. I can add and mark complete, and I can delete, or I cannot edit a task. So again, because it's inside of my project folder and I've given it instructions, it knows that I want a prompt to give to Claude Code in the terminal. So I just copy and paste. And so it needs to add an edit button next to each task. When the edit is clicked, convert the task title. So what was good is I just said, I want it to be able to edit the task. Chat figured out all the rest. And the reason I like this strategy is because it's formulating a prompt from Claude Chat to Claude Code, and it knows what its preferred formatting is. So while this is running, the other thing that we always want to keep in mind is our token usage. And so we can see that the current session is used 29% of my total allocation. Usage is reset every 5 hours. So I have one. So if I was to use all my tokens, I get a new batch in 1 hour. However, for my weekly limit, I'm at 76%. But if I go over my session, I already have my extra usage ready to go. It'll auto reload if I need more money, up to $60 a month. And so I'm not on the max plan. This is the pro plan. So I have to manage my tokens.
I think I need to do that. I'm paying for the higher one, but I'm not the days I'm not at work, I'm using it, but I need to do what you're doing. Just
So
my
I
usage.
figured if I go 3 months in a row at $100, then clearly I know I need it. Now, again, it's all done. So it tells me all done. Here's a summary. So I'm going to take my summary, and because I want context back in Claude Code, I'm just going to simply cut and paste. And because I'm not adding a lot of other chats to this thread, it keeps context pretty well. Perfect. Claude Code added full edit functionality to the task. Stop the current server and restart. So this is probably the most technical thing we need to do. So we can see here the server's running at location 3000. So I hit Control C and that stops the server. And then it tells me do node index.js as a command. And it basically refreshes the server. So let's see. Connected to SQL database initialized, server is running. Perfect. And let me go back here, refresh. Yep. So now we can see the edit button has now been added. So I can, well, not only can I edit it, I can add a full description. Then I can save it. So I can see that is subdued. I'm going to refresh just to make sure that everything sticks, which it does. Now we have test 6. I'm going to add test 5. I mark it done. So it's now put the line through it. And I'm going to delete the first task and I'm going to hit refresh. Everything's good. So we have a fully functional task list. And in the next session, we're going to kick it up a notch and add some more features to the task list. So that should be exciting. Now, as a matter of practice, what I'll do at this stage is I need to add if I want to back up my code to make sure that it remembers it. That way, if something happens, I don't lose it. So please create the ability to back up my code. Now, some of these things, Glenn, are things that you're going to learn as you go along. So I just happen to know that I need a backup command because I've done the other apps that way, and I've been guided by Matt and others. So again, it provided the total prompt. I'm just going to copy and paste, and I'm just going to let that run. Let's see what else this does. The backup, if it's doing it locally, will back up everything. When you go to backup on are you familiar with GitHub?
I'm just starting to learn about GitHub as we speak.
So GitHub is a repository for all your code. You will have to identify what code you want to back up and what you don't. And what you don't want to back up is your API keys. But we'll talk about that in session 3. And let's see, this will check the backup code. Let's see what this does for us. So now it's asking for permission to write something. I just hit 1 for yes to confirm. So now it's telling me that Archiver is installed, and I'm just going to feed this back to Claude Code. I'm sorry, Claude Chat. Let it know it's updated. So just see what it says. Make sure there's nothing else that was missed. Great. Now we need to restart the server. So we're going to go back to our terminal, Control C. And there's a shortcut when you're in your terminal on Windows. If you hit the up arrow, it'll take you back to your last command. So it's just so you don't have to retype it. And now kick the server on again. It says it's running. Just make sure. Test 7. Now this is interesting here. I didn't ask it to do this, but it put a backup code button on the header, which I'm not quite sure why. But I'm looking for the backup command. So for some reason it didn't do it there. Let's see what it does.
Is that like a save button?
It created, so basically it backed up and saved everything, but it put it on the web interface, which is really weird. So this is all right. This is a good test. So it did go ahead and back it up. Let me just make sure. So it tells me it created a directory in my simple tasks backup. There's the backup file right there. Huh, interesting. I've never had it do that before. So let's see. I would prefer the backup code button is not on the user interface and only initiated from the terminal in VSC.
That's all right.
All right, let's see what this does here. Time for a new toaster?
No, the toaster went so good. I just got home from work and it's 7 a.m. in the morning over here.
Oh,
So good.
All right, so it gave me some new code. So at this point, I'm pretty satisfied with what it created. That last piece was a little bit quirky at the end. So we'll experiment with this.
So if you close, will that come back up again? Does it save to it? So you can close it and come back to it? The
Let's
app, I
see.
mean.
So now I just put in that new code. So see how the button's gone now? So this is done. Let me see if it's still not using. Let's see. Remove the header. Fine. API backup are untouched. Restart your server. Let's see. Why can't I launch a backup script? That's interesting. So I'm not quite sure what it's asking me. So can I do either by typing in backup from the terminal in C? So let's go with one. Saying this one's simple. Okay, I'm gonna let that run. And then I just want to clarify where I enter this. So now this tells me we're good. I just needed a different command. Let's see if it launches my backup. It's asking for permission. It created a new backup and we're good. So we successfully were able to do that in under 30 minutes total with some little bit of debugging. And for session 2, I'm going to get that set up. I think I might actually want to do that later this week. So I'll get a time and place set up and we can go from there. Glenn, do you have any questions at all?
You've covered it pretty good. Nat, can I use that on my phone as well if I was to create something similar?
On your phone?
Like, do you use one on my laptop, one on my phone?
Oh, for the app itself? Yes, you can create it in a mobile format if you tell it to. But I'm not aware of a way to create an app in Claude Code from your phone. But the apps you can create can be used on your phone, yes.
Yeah, that's what I want to create is an app for my phone, just for me. I don't want anyone else to use it. I just want
Yeah,
me to use it.
perfect. All right, Glenn, I'm going to
Thank you,
sign off.
sir.
I appreciate you. I certainly appreciate you stopping by. And I will get this posted so other people can see it. And then we'll see you in session 2.
Awesome. Look forward to it. Thank you. You have a
Very
good
good. Thank you.
evening.
Bye-bye.
See ya.